two, there are also some differences which may make it a little bit easier for you all to tell them apart. So firstly, grey seals are generally much larger than harbour seals. They also tend to have longer, whiter and more canine-like snouts. And grey seals will birth their pups in the winter time, so they are born with an extra layer of insulation in the form of a white fluffy fur that harbour seal pups, on the other hand, are born in the summertime, usually any time between June and September. And because it is a lot warmer, they don't need that extra fluff, and they are just born looking like mini versions of the adults. Now, because of that size difference that we mentioned as well, with the grey seals being that much larger, they are also able to hold their breaths for a bit longer as well. So they can actually hold their breaths for a very impressive hour and a half at a time, whereas the lovely harbour seals you can see here today are able to go anywhere up to 30 minutes at the most. Both species are able to do this due to a very special protein they have in their bodies, and this is known as myoglobin, and all that does is help them to store oxygen for much longer than us humans ever could. But they are also able to sleep in the water. However, when they do this, they will generally poke their nose out so that they can breathe throughout. Now that motion is referred to as throttling, because they do to look like an empty plastic bottle floating on the surface of the water. Now sometimes when they bottle, and usually when they swim, you will notice that the seals do this upside down. One of the main reasons that they do that is that their eyes are located right on the top of their heads, and therefore if they're upside down in the water, they have a much better chance of spotting any predators or prey that could be lurking down in the water. Now with all of that being said, there is actually one other marine mammal which our seals get confused with even more commonly, and it's one of our biggest pet peeves here at SeaWorld, and that would of course be the sea lion. Now, harbour seals and sea lions are both part of a group known as the pinnipeds, so we do forgive you if you get them mixed up, as they do have many similarities. However, once again, there are a few key differences that you can look out for, which will hopefully make it a bit easier for you all to tell them apart. So firstly, you want to look out for the way they move on land. Now, our boys have been demonstrating this for you today, that when they're on the beach area, they do tend to use their tummy muscles to shuffle around in a motion that we know as fluffing. Now the reason that they use their tummy muscles is, as you can see, their flippers are a little shorter, only about the size of an adult human hand, and they're not very strong either, so their tummies are the best way for these guys to get around. Sea lions, on the other hand, do have very long and strong flippers. They're about the size of a full adult human arm, and so they can use those to do things such as running, jumping and climbing, much like a dog can do with its legs. The next difference is one you may have noticed, and that is their vocalization. So our harbour seals are a bit on the quieter side. They really communicate with each other when it is